Africa TV, Free Cup Studio Live. 2020 GSL Super Tournament Season 2.
We're off to a great start. TY versus Hurricane was awesome. Now we go to Dark versus ByuN.
Dark versus ByuN. I mean, it should be a really fun match. ByuN is looking monstrous right now, coming off of his Asus ROG win.
That's right.
Where he 3-2'd Solar, 3-0'd Solar and 3-2'd Serral. And also beat Maru in the finals. So you look at all that and it's like, oh my God, he's good right now.
It's so cool to see these guys dominate. You know, in the past, they had to go away, military service, or people take breaks. They come back, and they're stronger than ever.
Honestly,
though, Dark can win this. Okay.
Well, Dark is the defending world champ.
Yeah, I mean, for all the hype, it's like, okay, but Dark is really, 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 really good.
Yeah, yeah.
He might just win here.
I think ByuN's going to win personally, but yeah, I mean, Dark is the level where you have to give him a chance against anyone.
I'm in agreement with you. I think I think ByuN's going to win this, but I'm just going to put this out here. It's possible Dark just crushes.
Yeah, now, I got to say, out of the four horsemen of Terran, ByuN was always my least favorite play-wise.
He was on the smallest horse. It was like a mini pony or something.
Well, he's a world champ, which is something the other three didn't have.
It's fine.
But yeah, no, well, the thing is, his play, like, I've never been a super fan of. I've always loved TY, innovation, their styles. Maru's always, Maru.
ByuN's always, I think, inspired people with his micro and very specific with, for instance, the Reaper, of course, but he would a lot of times take fights that you're not supposed to take and then win anyways. He has a very different approach. I think for a while he was walled out of being able to win because people got better at just also focusing on the micro and then taking those fights. But he's back. It's a different era of StarCraft, and I'm very curious to see how he's going to do against Dark, who is basically the best Zerg at surviving pushes, withstanding a Terran to the very last second and then bouncing back and winning. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go on to Lightshade for map 1.
Yeah, and to what you were saying there, Tasteless, as well, you said people are coming back and looking better than ever.
Yeah.
That's something I've definitely noticed about ByuN.
Game 1, guys, Dark vs. ByuN starts now.
Game starts.
See?
And, all right, I'll just shut up for a second, but I do have a little bit more to say about ByuN.
Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark.
These voices coming in like they own the place, man. It's like, just let me talk.
ByuN.
Yeah, so the one thing that struck me is I feel like ByuN's macro is better than it's ever been. And of course that would always be true the further forward in history that we go, because everyone's macro is always improving. This is something people miss out on, is that the whole level of everyone is going up in every single way. But it's just, it's something I need to point out, because I was very impressed with his macro in, like, for instance, the series against Serral. Like, he had more bases than I'm used to him having. He was playing insanely well. His army splits were amazing, like using different groups in different areas. Just very, very impressive. So I definitely agree with your sentiment before. It's like to me, he looks better than he ever has.
Yeah.
Right now, which is wild to say, but yeah. Okay, so this is Command Center first in the main base. I love it.
Yeah, this is a little bit different than a lot of the other Terrans who approach this matchup. Dark is snagging 3 bases immediately, which is pretty normal, of course.
Yeah. Well, before the pool even. It's so funny. Look at this. If he had 12 pooled, or if ByuN had proxy raxed, what a game this would be. Now, this is Command Center first into 3 barracks immediately.
Yeah, all in the main here. The Overlord's going to come out and not see a CC here yet. And this may...
What interesting builds, man.
This may trigger Dark into some kind of a panic where he thinks that a rush is inbound. We see him now come in there, and it's like, oh, that's weird. What is he doing?
Yeah, look, you don't want to go too far.
Upon further inspection, no, he's not going to go in. Okay, I was going to say, upon further inspection, he will know what's happening.
Well, now he probably thinks it's a proxy, right?
That's what I would imagine, right? Something he imagines is inbound. In fact, things are pretty pretty ordinary over here for ByuN.
Well,
of course, ByuN doesn't. Well, I mean, as far as like things that you could be doing compared to a proxy.
Yeah,
He's
it's a macro play.
Yeah, he's making a macro build. There's 8lings coming out here. Where did the Overlord go? It is still parked over the natural.
Yeah.
But you can see no drones mining at the 3rd. Lings have been made en masse, and Ling speed was started, and here the CC will land safely, and I don't think these Lings that were intended to defend can even be a threat in offense here.
No, they're just going to scout right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's not going to quite get that.
I was gonna say, I'm like, high ground vision doesn't last that long, man.
No, certainly it does not.
He's expanded.
This is really fun, man.
I don't think we've ever
this.
casted these build orders together.
Of course not. Never.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
So,
but I'm so happy to do it. I love it.
And again, this is a real treat. Now, look at this. He's making more Lings. He may just lean into the build that he was forced into early on here. And I don't know if ByuN's going to be expecting this. Most Zerg players would dial it back and go into drones, but I think this is actually even better here from Dark, as he says, okay, well, I've already got Lings and Ling speed. Let's actually turn this into a timing attack where I am going to pounce on your natural.
Unfortunately for Dark, I don't think he's going to like what he finds. Like, he's going to get in and surround those, but there's 3 Raxes producing Marines right now.
Yeah.
There is no chance of him killing ByuN here.
Yeah, and
chance.
It's the right distribution of high ground to low ground.
Yeah, it really is.
It's
It's
like,
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like very safe from ByuN.
Yeah.
He's been extremely greedy this game, but he's powered up into like so many units. A few workers are dying for sure.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
ByuN is going to have so many units here coming up, and Dark is going to have to go into droning unless he just continues.
Hold on, more Lings are going to come in here. They can actually get a surround. Oh, they actually cannot. He just barely gets away, and this means he holds that. I thought for a second he was going to be able to pull around and actually hit from all sides. By the way, Stim is done.
He might be able to walk across the map and kill him.
It's possible.
Yeah,
a Roach Warren as well here. I think that's indicating the threat Dark is actually feeling here.
Against that many Marines, what are you going to do? Make the same amount of Lings and lose them again?
No.
You can't do that. Oh, God, yeah. ByuN with these medevacs coming out and Stim already done.
It's crazy because there's so many different ways this game could have gone, but here we are now. And this is really funny because, yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought most Zergs would probably go back into drones, but ByuN setting up for a macro game, trying to mislead the Zerg. This game may end up with Terran setting up for a push instead just because the Zerg's strategy was punished so severely here by ByuN.
Well, he's making a lot of roaches. Dark's drone count is not really where you want it. And the thing is, he's got 45 workers right now. That sounds like it's not that bad, but he just barely made a bunch of those. Well, so his economy is not strong. Not
just that, but the problem when you go for roaches is that there's no way to punish medevac movement.
Yeah.
And you don't have a ton of queens with this either. So it's like, roaches are good because they're beefy, and they can absorb quite a bit of damage. But there's nothing besides the queens that can actually hit the medevac. So Terran usually gets to move around easily.
Yeah, you get to keep a lot of pressure on him. If Dark lets up for a second, if he moves his units in the wrong direction, which is so easy to do, then ByuN is going to pounce and get some damage done. I think this is, I mean, a beautiful game for ByuN so far.
Yeah.
Right? There's been some mind games in here. He's gotten lucky in a couple ways on what Dark has decided to do. Of course, Dark couldn't have known, but it's working out for ByuN. And look at this, right? Pick off a queen, get a drone, force everything back, and get out.
Again, ByuN is going to be even stronger when the next push comes. But Dark actually did defend pretty well. I actually expected that to be much worse for him, but a good handling by Dark. I guess part of it's also that Dark can't overextend here because he doesn't have enough drones to develop anywhere. You know what I mean? So
that is, wow, you are an optimist.
They call me the spin doctor, man.
Dude, wow.
I should manage.
He can't overextend because he doesn't have enough drones to do it. I love that. That's a great call. 100%.
There's another push coming down here, too. Oh, these Lings get in. Look at that.
Look at that, yeah.
He's like, okay, I have a lot to deal with coming up here. So I think the drop from the top is going to merge in here with a push from the bottom. There's no Ravagers, right? Oh, no, they're starting. Excuse me.
They're starting now. This is not good for Dark.
No, he's going to have 3 Ravagers, which is enough to pick off a tank, which we're going to see that right here. 3 shots kills a tank. Did he not fire 3? That was weird. Okay.
Look, even if he's killing off these tanks, right? Like he's not making drones that much, right? He's at 62 drones finally. We're 8 minutes in. He's trying to get these upgrades, but as long as ByuN hits his macro, continues to upgrade, you know, gets a few siege shanks here and there, what is Dark going to do? Are we going to just see the maxed Roach push? Is that the plan? You know, this 1/1 Roach timing attack that we used to see a lot that has kind of disappeared? Is that how Dark is going to try to fight his way back into the game? The medevacs are going to be an increasing problem.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you held off the first 2, but what about when we have 4 medevacs?
It really is a situation where you each thing that happened forced another situation that's forced another situation.
Yeah.
And I think that now Dark is going to be stuck with in a position where it's going to be so difficult to play the game from here on out, right?
And look, like, he technically has enough roaches to stop this, but ByuN gets to decide how the battle goes. He decides what to target and when to pick up. All Dark can do is send his roaches to fight the Marines. You can see who has the control here.
Yeah. Again, this is not... I mean, imagine that the Zerg had Mutiling Bane. You know, how different these fights would look. I mean, there is sort of this kind of... The roaches are almost like these junkyard dogs on the ground, right?
Yeah.
But at this point in time, I mean...
They're hounds.
ByuN can hop over the fence anytime and then run somewhere else and hit. Now, eventually, this culminates into Dark doing this battering ram attack over here because you have to do something with his units. You've survived the attacks, but now you need to actually come in here and hit. And this is a pretty wild attack here. This is over 180 degrees of damage here. Is it going to be enough, though?
Nice.
It seems like no. Terran just has enough. After Biles connect to the targets, it's still enough Marauders and Marines that this thins out most of the army. The dodging's also quite easy as well. And again, Terran is going to seesaw the action here, in this case over towards the Zerg, through the bottleneck. Again, Marauders and Marines are actually just better than Ravagers and Roaches.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so, like, even though he killed 18 SCVs there, ByuN's got over 55 SCVs, so that's fine. He's still got strong army. What do you do? Just remake Roach Ravager? Is that going to work this time?
He's stuck doing it, and I think we're close to the end here. This also, you know, GG, we really saw how strong Concussive Shell is as you start to win fights against that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that on camera?
He's always
the
had
wrist shake.
issues,
If you guys will recall, last time we casted ByuN, we actually had to have a pause in the middle of the game because the wrist pain was so high.
That's right.
And
I forgot.
He, I think he got like a yellow card or something like that. There's been a pause requested. I'm guessing from ByuN, but what do I know? But yeah, let's keep that in mind. He wins that game, but will his wrists hold up? Or will his...
That's the new storyline for ByuN,
Will he go down in flaming tendons?
Well, I hope not.
Oh, are we not going to take this break?
No, I don't
They
think
have
so.
the interrogation lights on us. Why? I need to text production later on about the brightness of these lights.
Oxide tasteless.
Let's take a look at who's got a better scalp. What do you say? I'd
Seems
say
like
it's tied. I
Dark
think it's
has
good.
slightly thicker hair, I think.
I think that's his shampoo. I think it's just adding more volume to his hair.
Oh, okay. Are you a hairstylist?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
That's sick.
Yeah.
Why have you never styled my hair?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You know,
Oxide.
If something is an oxide, can you breathe it? Because it has oxygen molecules in it.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Because, like, I was just thinking, what I would love to do, you know, like a chocolate pudding? Imagine chocolate pudding oxide, and, like, I just dive into a big vat of it. And you're like, I wonder where our toast is. And, like 10 days later, I emerge, and I have been breathing down there while eating pudding.
You come out as some kind of chocolate-flavored Batman villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Chocotosis is here. Guys, we're ready for Game 2 on Oxide. Dark versus ByuN. Right now, ByuN with a 1-0 lead.
Game start.
We were informed
Dragon
that
Phoenix Gaming.
ByuN is having some
Dark.
wrist pain. Yeah. I think we're going to try to pace out the...
That's rough, man. That is a tough one.
So, guys, the best thing to do
Yup.
if you have wrist pain, stretches, taking time off, and doing some forearm and hand workouts.
Yeah.
One thing about StarCraft players, in my experience, is you meet every iteration of human for StarCraft players, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, you have people that are very physically fit. You have
Yeah. No, you
twig nerds, you know.
No, you got the whole spectrum. You know, you got
Social people,
You got-
antisocial people.
the Hearthstone/Artosis types. Then you got the Tasteless types. You know.
Yeah. You talk bodybuilders, that's right. Philosophers. Philosopher kings. Yes. Philosopher kings.
Yeah.
But if you are having pain, and if you're younger, you're like, I'm going to live forever, baby. You're not. Take
true.
care of your
Yeah.
hands and wrists.
That is important.
Tendons.
That is important.
Well-
Play at a speed that you can play long term at.
Yeah, and don't become wiggly fingers guy. You're like, I have 500 APM before anything matters. It's like, calm down, buddy. Who are you trying to impress?
What are you, the YouTube comments section?
I'm that and worse. Yeah.
Why is he spamming at the beginning of the game?
But yeah, take care of your hands and your forearms, and just build some muscle. If you get some muscle around those tendons, it's good. It supports it. And do stretches.
Yeah, I definitely do stretching each day. I'm going to start exercising my wrists specifically. I play a lot of StarCraft nowadays.
I see that.
I've got to do that. I definitely don't have any pain, but I want to preempt it.
Well, I actually have a theory, because, you know, I had that broken bone in my hand, and then I came back, and then I got an RSI injury because I didn't work out my hands.
Yeah.
Trying to play games. Oh, Link Speed's about to finish. Hold on. You might have to expand on this topic in a little bit here. Cancels the CC, son.
Very nice.
Oh!
Gets to the high ground, though.
Yeah, barely escaped.
Nicely done
This
by
is
Dark.
actually a pretty big interruption in what the Terran was trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's what the build is really planning to do, right? If you're going to grab Zergling speed like that, you are looking to cancel it.
It's cool in this series to see the build orders chosen on both sides here to start things off.
Such a huge range. And I think that's really exciting to see.
So now Dark has a little bit more freedom on the map here. He's able to develop. The command center will eventually land, but it is an interruption there. So to what we were mentioning earlier, yeah, I mean, take care of your hands and wrists. To my theory, though, is if you're playing enough StarCraft consistently, I think that you do have enough muscles in your hands and your wrists.
Really?
Because I never had a problem until I had the broken bone in my hand. I never had any problem at all. And I don't think my ergonomics were very good at all. But it seems like if you do take time off, but I've worked out off and on, I guess, too. Probably had like a little bit of muscle there in my arms. Yeah, I don't know. So this game we're going to have ByuN move out here.
Yeah, it finally does get that expansion. I'm going for Cloak Banshee here. Medevac Chop on the way. As far as Dark goes, just staying on the 2-hatch. It's actually getting a spine right now. Okay, so getting ready. Dark, gonna lose this Overlord to ByuN's drop. Okay, Siege Tank on the way. Kind of interesting. What is Dark up to here?
I don't know. Let's see here. He is going to chase away that medevac. Not a bad idea there by ByuN to come out. It's pretty impressive how good people have gotten at defense overall in this game.
Oh yeah,
with the drops.
It takes a long time to learn.
There was a period where like Terran drops were the most insane thing in the game.
Do you remember when Banshees never didn't get 10 kills?
Yeah,
plus?
it's like here we go. This is the strongest move in the game.
Yeah, to make a Banshee. It's like that's the strongest move to make the unit.
Yeah. Cloak or no cloak.
Yeah.
If you had cloak, it's probably gonna get 26 kills Artosis.
Yeah, it was a real thing. Nowadays, it's like you're really trying so hard to just add some damage to the queens. Look at this. He's actually going for this. Oh, there's the cloak.
Oh, invisibility, boys.
Yeah, and the spore is not quite ready yet.
Yeah, he's shift-clicking down drones. Oh,
is he losing his whole army over here? Yeah,
what
he
is happening? ByuN seems to have really misplayed this. And okay, he's back to killing drones again here, but the spore's about to finish.
Yeah, he sacked his army trying to get that that third base. Not able to do it.
Dark did have a small overextension earlier we didn't remark upon, but he did lose a couple lings up there. But I actually think Dark's in a better position overall.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. It's looking a bit better for him. I like how he's kind of bent his build around as well. Kind of appreciate the lateness of the third and how he's kind of been careful about things and pretty much stopped everything that ByuN has tried here. You know, the Banshee did get a few kills, but other than that, like he cleared the army. Another Cloak Banshee coming in, seeing what it can get done.
This one not doing too much damage. Oh, he actually got a queen.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Got ahead of myself there. Stim now is on the way here for Terran, in what's been kind of a bumpy game so far. To go back for a second, though, the last game really was a lot about a forced attack here. Dark had plans to go for Lings. It didn't work out, and then he was forced to go Roaches to defend.
Yeah.
And then he was forced to try to win with Roaches because he couldn't tech out of it. So
totally.
I don't think that game's going to be representative of what the rest of the series is, but we should note it is Roach tech again. But I think the circumstances are wildly
very different.
Yeah.
You're really right about that. When you're going Roaches from behind or going Roaches from ahead or even, it's definitely two very different things. You know, last game he was really looking for ByuN to make a series of mistakes for him to be able to win. Whereas this game, it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, Dark is a player that likes Roaches, to be honest.
Sure.
It's not that he can't play like Lingbane or Lingbane Muta, but he's always been a player that's liked Roaches. He likes Ravagers a lot. Not sure exactly what he's going to be getting here. Like, are we going to see maybe 1-1 for Roach with these two Evos into +1 melee, +2 Carapace? That sounds like a very Dark-esque thing to do, but we'll see in a second. Ooh, some nice harassment here. Picking off 8 drones. Not bad. 9.
Yeah, that's a very good play. Swooping in there, doing quite a bit of damage. Dark, though, always on top of these little Ling maneuvers here, just getting damage where he can, even escaping with those Zerglings.
Yeah, Dark right now throwing down a couple hatches, getting that +1 missile attack, so definitely going to be staying on Roach for a bit.
And again, this is a very different Roach style conceptually compared to what we had in the last game. ByuN is just now getting his third base up, where Dark is already in acquisition of his fourth. And this is the Dark that we're used to seeing dominate globally.
Yeah, he's playing a nice game here. Definitely do like it. He's got a much healthier queen count as well, so he's going to be a bit better against the medevac play that ByuN is going to have to show. A lot of Roaches being made.
+1 attack, +1 armor is going to finish. I don't know if Terran has a timing attack. We'll see.
No, yeah, you're right.
Doesn't seem like there's anything that would incentivize Terran to try to hit now. Like we mentioned earlier, you know, when you go for medevacs against Roach Ravager, there's not really anything that you can do to stop medevacs from coming in. The queens will damage the medevacs if they can, but
you're mostly zoning.
You're mostly zoning, that's correct. I mean, pretty much the Terran can fly around as much as they want, and even if the medevacs take damage, they go back home and repair it. So it's one of the features of these unit compositions engaging with each other. But Dark's pretty good, I think probably better than the rest of the Zerg players at defending with Roach Ravager and not eating too much damage.
Yeah, he's very good with the composition. I think he's going to go into like a Ling Bane with this now and go into Ultra. That's kind of a normal thing. We'll see if he starts the +1 melee. Actually, he just started a 3rd Evolution Chamber, so I think he's going to get all the upgrades at once.
A lot of times when we have the Banelings made, one of the concepts that Zerg's trying to use is to have so much damage over at the Terran's third that the Terran becomes a 2-baser off and on while you tech into Ultras.
Yeah, and this type of comp goes into Ultras pretty cleanly as well.
Yeah, it's a very easy step-by-step process.
Yeah.
Like everything sort of pairs with the other thing to get you to where you need to be.
And honestly, at this point, ByuN is not really getting very much done.
Yeah, ByuN needs to be careful because he's not doing any damage with these, and Marines are being picked off one by one, and it seems on the surface it could be inconsequential, but if you have 7 or 8 of these moments where 4 or 5 Marines are killed and don't kill anything, you do have a much smaller army later on. We're going to see that here now. Again, Lings, although Marines only cost minerals and Lings only cost minerals, Lings are much more expendable than even the Marines.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh, look at this. This is very interesting. He's actually going Hydralisk then, so I think we're going to see him go into Lurker from here, which should work out pretty well. I'm surprised we don't see an Ultralisk Cavern, though, honestly. I would like to see it, even if he doesn't necessarily want to make Ultras right away. It just, yeah. Anyways, Adrenal on the way, a couple Vipers coming out as well. Dark right now, trying to defend his creep a bit. Oh,
whoa,
don't know what happened there.
I think all the Biles hit that.
Or it might have been Banelings, too.
Oh, could be, yeah. Now, Dark really has a lot of the map here. Look at the creep spread.
Yeah, it's scary. It is scary.
It is pretty insane. This map is toast, and that is his jam. Ortosis. How am I doing? Is this my best cast ever, or
it's amongst them?
Yes, thank you. No, but seriously, this is pretty insane. The amount of mobility, the creep highway is crazy here. ByuN is going to expand to what I think is probably the safest base to take here, the center right. He could take the top center, but I feel like this is going to allow him to defend that base by pushing through the middle here.
Okay. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. So he can clear this side of the map first. It kind of makes sense. It cuts off attack paths to that base. He's doing some multi-prong here. Sends another little group over to the base on the left for Dark. And he's got such a nice spread of siege tanks. We're definitely going to see a big fight happen over here relatively soon. Oh, God, the 2 full energy Vipers come in.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Yeah, blinding clouds absolutely everywhere. Dark should be able to smash through everything here.
Oh my God. Dark just crushing. And look at these tanks. Some reinforcements will come in here to defend.
Oh, Dark might want to turn around, actually.
This goes
Those
to show
many
you
more Marines and tanks coming.
When you try to stutter step micro with Roach Ravager off of creep.
Yeah, with the Queens there kind of in their way and stuff, everything just bottlenecked. And definitely that turn towards ByuN.
I think Dark's still going to be fine, though.
There's a lot of roaches on the way, but...
Is he upgrading out of those?
No. He has them done. He just finished those upgrades, so he's got 1, 2, 2. All right, well, it comes up, throws on some good vials.
Wait a minute, is ByuN just going to win this fight?
Yeah.
What?
Wow,
all right, wow.
That was a crazy one.
That, all right. Good. But I thought... I was... Well,
Dark, he took the fight really well at first, and then when he tried to go down to finish the rest of the tanks, he kind of got everything bottlenecked. He took way more damage, and he lost a bunch of his more long-term units, like the Ravagers, right? Also, like, I mean, throwing a couple Vipers in when you get to Hive is always good. Again, I would have liked to see an Ultralisk Cavern there. I think that would have been a nice ad and maybe helped out a bit.
Roaches just have attacked off
do not scale. Yeah.
The thing is, like, the whole thing that makes your army that strong early on is the bulk of Roaches and Ravagers. Pretty much Terran can't fight that. But if you overextend, like we saw on the creep, he lost enough that, like, suddenly when you make Roach Ravager, they don't come out that fast. It's not like a situation where you can suddenly make 50 Banelings. Yeah. Okay, I have to make enough Banes. I have to push back now. The Roaches come out almost sort of like Marauders for Terran.
Okay, yeah.
You know? And so suddenly there's just like enough tanks they can set up. The Marines can stem in there. And, yeah, I mean, I guess Dark just, despite getting into a pretty incredible position in that game, overextended and lost.
He definitely overextended going down
that game. That game ended a lot faster than I even expected. I think just because of the sheer amount of the map that Dark had, I thought, okay, no way.
Well, it's
can he do this? But honestly, when he's killing that base, he's going to get the next 2 bases pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so.
and he's reinforcing the entire time. And it's kind of what you said, though, right? Like, you can't just make your army reappear. So if you have, like, this really heavy tier 1.5 army that he had, and then you kind of lose everything, you have to remake everything.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, ByuN hasn't lost any medevacs. He sells half his tanks, and he's just rallying out the Marine Marauder, and that's just going to fight a lot better than fresh roaches out of a hatchery.
ByuN looking very strong, though.
Yeah, he's good.
Does seem like Dark is making some questionable choices, though. I get what happened with the Ling play. I thought that was pretty exciting until ByuN shut it down so easily and forced roaches out. But in the other game, like, I don't see why he attacked so hard off creep with queens too.
Well, I think he was like, wow, I massacred that army. Time to kill the rest of it. But yeah, the queens bottlenecked everything. It was gross, man. And the tank spread was deep and it went far back.
He had a lot of tanks too. There was like 6 tanks pushing with that after he was done. And when you have the tanks in their base and you're hitting everything and they screwed up a Roach Ravager fight, particularly when there's no more Ravagers, you're in trouble town. Just past Tazel's Hill.
Game start.
I wouldn't live anywhere else, Artosis.
Oh, man.
I pay for the amenities.
Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark. Young.
I'll tell you what, man. ByuN wants to win this 3-0. He got wrist pain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been playing a lot. He just won Aces Rog, so that's a ton of games to go through, right? Playing your absolute best against the best players in the world. Now here he is against the world champion. Day 1 of Super Tournament.
Yep.
If he does win, he gets tomorrow off. Or the next few, actually a week off.
Yeah, because this is the first time you've done Super Tournament over the course of 2 weeks. Guys, as a reminder, we're on the GSL schedule, like Code-S schedule as normal.
Yeah,
if you watch Code-S all the time. So it's going to be...
But our Saturday broadcast, I believe, starts later.
But that's right.
Than normal Saturday broadcasts. It'll start at the same time as...
But anyways, it's like, it's not going to be 4 days in a row. So, get your Day 2 GSL Code-S Advent calendar out that you guys all have. Open it up, eat the little chocolate, and get ready.
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store near my neighborhood. There's a little import section in this grocery store I found near my new neighborhood.
Yeah.
They had Advent calendars.
Yeah.
Do they have Advent calendars out here normally?
I don't know, but we got my kids Advent calendars.
Now, did they share one Advent calendar, or do they have?
We have 3 Advent calendars and like a makeshift one for the baby that's only 1 year old. Because obviously she can't have little tiny toys that will come in an Advent calendar.
Okay, so the kids share that one, and then you have a bunch for yourself, right? That you just
yeah, man.
Because you're a grown-up and you can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. And the thing is, I open all of them in front of the kids. They're like, why do we have to wait 1 a day? I'm like, I'm just going to open this whole Advent calendar. And then I'm like, I don't like these toys, and I throw them away in front of them.
Oh, my God. He's going to get the
What
Overlord.
a kill.
Wow. Ouch. Ouch. I bought this Advent calendar because I was like, oh, cool. It was like a... this cheap kids thing. It was $28 because it was imported. I didn't even look at the price. I was like, oh, cool. And I'm like, oh, all right.
What kind of toys are you getting?
I mean, it's just like little chocolates and little,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even like chocolate. I don't even know why I got it, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
At least it's not like little toys.
They did have Pop-Tarts that I also bought. It turned out to be $17.
$17?
Yeah. This is one of the weird things you
Tasteless.
guys.
I got ice I want to sell you.
Yeah. Can you sell me water from your sink too, please?
Yeah.
No, this is the thing, man. There's things you can't get easily out here.
Dude, I will order Pop-Tarts for you off of Amazon for way less than that, but I want $20.
You want to cut, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess all I can do is say yes to that because I don't know how to use Amazon Artosis. It's too tricky. By the way, this game, besides the Overlord getting killed off, it's 3 command center right away. A nod to innovation. Now, let's not forget that ByuN has been an innovation fan before he was a GSL champion.
Of course, yeah.
Let's talk about that moment where ByuN had that giant innovation poster at the tournament that he won.
Yeah, and Don't
against
forget
SOS.
Yeah.
Against old Seuss. Seuss McProtos guy.
You know, it's really actually kind of funny when you think about it. Out of those the Four Horsemen, he actually was in Season 1 as well, him and Maru.
Yeah, he was
Both
bogus
played.
back then.
No, the Innovation was bogus.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Innovation was still playing StarCraft 1 at the time, at the beginning of GSL. He was on a Kespa team, STX.
Oh, that's right. God, it's all so long ago.
Yeah, but ByuN and Maru both played in Season 1. And still are two of the top Terrans. In fact, they just played in the finals of Aces Rock. How crazy is that? GSL Season 1 players.
Yeah. It's something else, man.
You know who else was in Season 1 of GSL Tasteless?
Who?
Me. Maybe
What?
it's time for me to win.
I remember casting
Why didn't
that.
I win Aces Rock?
I remember, yeah. I remember casting you, Artosis.
Yeah.
So, this game we have a bit of a push out here from
Yeah, that's
ByuN.
kind of a funny push,
There's
isn't
no
it?
medevacs out here yet, but Stim's close to finishing. It seems like the ordering, the sequence of the build is a little bit different. This might be one of these things where you pop in.
He might just
suddenly
catch Lings running out or something, you think?
maybe. There's actually historically in Terran builds oftentimes been these funny Stim builds where it's like you just get there way earlier and they're like,
Oh, those,
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Those exist sometimes.
But it doesn't look like there's much he's going to find here with this. Yeah, he's coming out again.
It looks like he's stimmed when he goes through
Yeah.
those W's.
That's right.
Okay, a couple medevacs coming.
If you stim those Marines and run through that, you time travel to 2021. It's crazy.
You stim and run back through, you're like, oh no, it's even worse. All right, so there's enough roaches. This is not going to... What? He's getting... building armor?
That can't be right.
He's using one of his two eBays and it's for building armor? How does that...
No, that's a mistake.
I want it to be a build, though.
Yeah. Where suddenly there's just a bunch of buildings outside that Zerg's forth, and he's like, I can't stop these buildings.
I can't kill him!
There's too much armor, GG!
You ever GG because something has too much
Yeah,
armor?
too much armor.
Actually, yeah, I do daily. But,
Well,
that's really...
It's halfway done.
That's incredibly strange. Like, I would
got
imagine
two
he'd
eBays.
prefer to have 1-1 than building armor.
No, Artosis, open your mind up.
No,
Jesus.
just open your
Yeah.
mind up.
Can you try to understand what the pro gamers are doing?
I'm trying so hard. Okay, just canceled it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the look on his
Oh.
face. Oh,
He should have
man.
let it finish, because then he could have just said in the interview like, yeah, no, it's because of
He's
this
like,
and this.
you guys don't know that build?
You guys don't get building armor.
Terran win rates across the world crash as everyone
Yeah,
starts trying it.
Yeah.
Protoss gets nerfed again. Terran players cheer because ByuN saved them
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah. Zerg players all quietly nod at each other in agreement. Don't say a word.
Oh, man. Well, that didn't work out. That's pretty painful. He
Well-
wanted his upgrades going for a really long time.
You know, among the things that you could miss that could completely screw up the entire rest of the game, it's missing 1-1 early on. Because then your 2-2 is later, your 3-3 is later, and a lot of times you can win StarCraft games just by doing all the right things in the build because they missed something. And right now we're seeing this with ByuN. And this is not a mechanical error. This is some kind of... something happened back there because he also didn't have the other upgrade going at the eBay. So there's
He
a very
clicked
odd moment.
Something went wrong. We don't know what his hotkey setup is. We don't know if he clicks on eBays or has him hotkeyed or whatever.
You're at
But that was painful. All right, well, we have the 3 Evo build here from Dark once again. So a very similar strategy to last time. His Hive is, well, it's on the way, about a third of the way done. And I want to see if he goes for exactly the same thing here. Because, honestly, last game, it felt like he was actually doing better than ByuN until he went off creep.
well, yeah, he took a fight he couldn't win, and
At the same time, though, I said it a couple times already, I would like to see an Ultralisk Cavern with it.
well, I think we're going to eventually have that. Again, Dark basically just deflecting every drop with ease here.
All right, second factory is going to be finishing up here for ByuN. Get a lot more tanks that way. Hey, yeah, there's the Hydralisk Cavern. Hydralisk Cavern.
This has been
There's a
happening to us.
Hydralisk Spire.
Yeah. There's the Zergling Barracks. Like, what are we doing?
The Zergling Barracks. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Okay, so we're coming out now. And Terran's going to try to... I think Terran will actually just deny this location over here to the right. Does Terran actually know this is here, by the way?
Well, he should now.
Yeah, he'll find out. He'll be like, oh, nice.
Dark's just going to go ahead and preemptively cancel. No sense in leaving that there. All right, the Vipers are coming out. Dark's army, I mean, they have similar army supply. Oh, look at this. A little drop up to the side. He's going to have to just pick that up pretty quickly, though.
Oh, God. Well, that was a mistake. This actually happened in the other game here as well. ByuN's going to keep trying to close in here. Again, this guy has some of the best micro ever.
By the way, I want to point out 2-2 would be done right now.
Yeah.
If he hadn't made those upgrade errors.
Yeah, again, no, he's going to be feeling this until 3-3 is done. Mm-hmm. He is basically playing from a disadvantage because of this.
Game
oh.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
Probably wrist issues. We'll see.
So he's going to have a short break here.
Well, he's not actually grabbing his wrist.
Artos, his wrists are in pain, I guarantee.
Yeah, no, I have no doubt, but you think that's what the pause is?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Jesus. I don't want to disappoint you.
Apology accepted.
Good. Thank God. But I'm going to go home and think about this conversation like 20 times in the shower and just be like, oh, did he really?
You're going to be angry. You're going to be like, you're talking to your wife, she's rubbing your back. And I can't believe Tace is talking to me like that in the cast. Okay. So, this, yeah.
She's like, I know, honey, but you were out of line.
Yeah. He's apparently experiencing some extreme pain here. So he's paused. I'm not sure what the process is right now for this. I do believe we still end up issuing him a yellow card, I think, just because you can't pause. It's unfortunate, but those are the rules.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think the yellow card actually means that much the first time it's issued. But
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to have something in place so that people can't just pause all the time,
yeah,
right?
you got to go to the gamer penalty box. And
I heard through the grapevine, now I don't know the full story, that you had something having to do with the pause on your stream yesterday. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, actually I was I had a PVZ for 40 minutes against this Eros player.
Yeah.
And there was actually a couch getting delivered to my house.
Oh, okay.
And so
makes sense.
So earlier on in the stream, the couch actually came and they brought it upstairs. I'm on the 4th floor of my building. There's no elevators, so it's like it's kind of like a.
Hope you gave those movers some water.
Yeah, you got to tip them. But they got up there and then they opened the thing and it was not the couch I ordered. And I'm like, I can't.
I'm so
sorry. I am so sorry, but this is not. It was actually like way bigger, and it didn't. And I'm like, this is just not even what I bought. So they were like, "Can we come another day?" And I'm like, "I'm casting. I can't. You can't come tomorrow. I'm not going to be here." So they left. And so, anyways,
they left or they laughed.
They definitely didn't laugh, and they had to carry it back down and put it on a truck and leave. So then, I was streaming all day that day. So then, I actually thought they were probably just not going to be able to bring it, but they actually managed to get. So the doorbell rings.
Wow.
I pause this game, and I type wait, please. It's for 40 minutes in, or maybe 35. Anyways, it's like half the map. It's crazy. There's like reavers and shuttles flying everywhere. Storm drops. It darts. And then I have to let the guy in. They come in, and I come back, and apparently this guy had unpaused the game, killed my army, and then paused it again. So it wasn't even like I came back and I'm like, wow, this guy's a piece of garbage. And so I come and I'm looking for my army and it's not there.
That's amazing.
I was basically just not okay for the entire day. Like I was just so angry.
Yeah, I understand.
I probably would have lost anyways, but you know.
Still, that's it's funny to do that and repause.
So we're back. I've been informed we gave ByuN a warning. Here we go.
Yeah,
wow.
Dark just rolling through that army. Ouch. He still has his medevacs. I'm not sure what his production looks like at home, but his supply is grossly outnumbered by Dark's.
I think Zerg might just win the game, guys.
Well, it certainly is starting to look that way. Let's have these biles. gets some of them to connect. I am definitely worried for ByuN though, right? Like having this much wrist pain that you're having to do multiple pauses. And,
well, not only that, but like I don't think he's going to win this game, so he's going to have to win a full game.
Yeah.
The CC just goes down.
Planetary 3-0ing.
Yeah.
Like each game you play, it's like it becomes harder and harder. Really kind of sad to see. And ByuN's style, of course, is the one that requires like basically the most speed. He's very much bio-focused.
Right. Yeah, yeah. He's very mechanical. There's not that many micro players in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like so good.
And Terran in general just takes a lot of APM. Like
sure.
Remember MVP actually, he was getting so many wrist issues. He actually switched his style and started playing like basically mech in all the matchups that he could. 2 of them, obviously, you couldn't really TVP with mech.
Is his wrist better now? Do we know?
Who?
MVP.
It must be because he's swole, man.
Oh, is he jacked now?
Yeah, he's
well, guys, ByuN is trying to come back here, but I don't know if it's going to work. Dark is maxed out.
Yeah, ByuN still has a lot, right? He doesn't have his +3 attack on the way, but his +3 armor is on the way, so we know that he's making some more mistakes here. This has to be something that is emotionally hard to deal with as well. His micro definitely not looking as strong that we're looking at right here. I think he's going to GG.
I think he taps out. But this is actually very worrisome here because I don't know how physically. Look at ByuN's face, by the way. He's not just pained in his wrist, but I think pained emotionally. And
for sure,
I think he knows exactly the dilemma that he's in, where it's like, oh my God, I'm in a best of 5. I was up 2-0. My wrist is really hurting. He is
one of the best players in the world right now.
Only a day ago, only a day ago.
Yeah.
And now he might be hitting a wall here.
He might.
Oh boy.
He's going to be really sad when he sees that.
Yeah.
I mean, 3-3 would have been done a while ago.
Yeah.
if he had been able to do
You might as well get building armor now.
He just started the +3 attack.
Yep.
And the thing is, when you find something like that, it's like, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that Dark can just continue to push in. He has so much money, he can afford to not trade that efficiently. There's so much creep on the map, it doesn't seem like there's really any ideal location to push, right? Even though the place with the least amount of creep on the far right is in the way of this army. But hold on a second, maybe I'm going a little bit too far here. We're seeing Terran actually push back. And maybe there is some kind of a Hail Mary play here. I mean, honestly, the best... Oh, that's actually sick.
That's a nice catch.
Very nice. Yeah, but I mean, okay, another big catch here. There's only like 2 Banelings here.
Yeah, there's not many Banes. Yeah, well, ByuN though, like, you really do see that his micro is not the same level as we were seeing earlier. Obviously not the same that we saw in Asus as well.
No, yeah.
So these attacks, it's like he's making armies, send them across, and it's not quite there. It's really tough, you know? A big part of his power is his speed, his micro ability. And to have that hurt even a little bit.
Yeah, this is tough to watch. And I think also, I don't want to go too far here, but I think it's fair to say Dark knows exactly what's going on.
Of course, yeah, they have to tell him why it's paused.
Yeah, and so he's like, oh, all right, well, I'm not in any hurry to really end this then.
Yeah.
You know
honestly,
what I mean?
He can play like kind of a slightly more defensive game, just do things that are hard to micro out of. How is ByuN going to do the multitasking that he needs to do, right? I feel like top form ByuN would have 2 more bases right now.
It's almost like you're letting a player just deal with the injury.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I saw this, I mean, I know almost nothing about UFC, but like I remember watching a UFC fight where the guy had kicked the guy in the leg so hard that he wasn't even doing that much after that because it's like it hurts to stand.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And just keep hitting him in the leg. It's almost like let the game go on longer and longer because ByuN's arm is going to be hurting more and more, right?
Yeah. It's a valid tactic.
I'm not saying that's what Dark's doing here now, but that is a reality, right?
If your opponent's having a hard time with something, you can exacerbate that.
Yeah.
Sure. And look, the fact that he's getting lurkers lengthen the game.
Yeah.
You just
I didn't actually notice that at the top.
Yeah.
You're right. He is getting lurkers.
you
That's
bury
like,
your lurkers, and it's like, okay, how is ByuN supposed to beat this? Well, either the game can go very, very long and we can basically mine up the map, or ByuN can start doing a lot of multi-pronged attacks and things like that to try to get around the lurkers. Both of those are things I think ByuN probably shouldn't want to deal
I
with.
think lurkers look like hedgehogs.
Yeah, they do.
They look kind of cute now. They're like doing a little Sonic spin. Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Ready? Gotta go fast. What a stupid line. Gotta go fast. Do you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Imagine not going fast and you're trying to go through the ring loop. You just go up the side of the wall, then fall off and get hurt.
And then, then you're in a neck brace for 6 months.
Yeah, don't want that. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Right?
He's reminding himself from that one time he didn't go fast.
Yeah. Come with me, Tails. Gotta go fast.
Oh, man, this lurker push.
Was Tails a boy or a girl, Fox?
I thought it was a boy.
I thought it was a boy. Knuckles a boy?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know, the cartoon didn't have Knuckles as far as I can remember.
It didn't have Knuckles?
Did it?
I don't know. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of other animals.
Just Tails.
Okay, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be in this. Supplies, don't even tell the full story for how bad this is for Terran right now.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot for sure.
Uh-oh.
Is clearing these lurkers finally, but ByuN down to 40 workers. You know, he doesn't really have the saturation. His economy is not there. He's down to 105 supply. I think he's got a GG, and honestly, with his wrist hurting, I feel like he should not be wasting any time in a game that's this
No,
one-sided.
I think you need to be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I think you got to really look at that and decide, like, okay, what's best for me? What's the best chance?
GG. Oh man, look at ByuN.
Yeah, that's.
He knows this is like. Then think about this. Had he won pretty quickly there, it doesn't matter. You have literally a week off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can rest and recuperate. Okay, so ByuN still leads 2-1. Okay. Here is the thought process, I think, for Dark.
Yeah.
If you know that ByuN is in this type of pain and is not microing as well, his whole style is based off of his micro. I think right here is Dark. You are going to open up with something very safe. This would be the time I would be most afraid of, like, Proxy Barracks play.
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't actually thought about that, but you're right.
Proxy Barracks, possibly some sort of like Hellbat type of attack, right? Something that's not APM intensive.
You have to, right?
Strong.
You have to. Nice burp, Artosis. What do you think, Artosis?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
You should go frogs. Yeah, no, that's kind of my thought process here.
Pillars of gold. It could be pillars of salt, my friend.
Ooh.
If ByuN loses
Don't
here.
look back.
Yeah, don't look back. Guys, it's all going to come down to this right now. Can ByuN win this, or are we going to go into risk
Game
hell?
start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark. ByuN.
Okay, so I want to reiterate a couple things here.
Yeah.
He's already paused once. Now, our rules are you can pause if there's a technical problem. In fact, if you watch like the first 2 or 3 seasons, there was this whole thing where people kept accidentally turning sound off.
Yes.
I can't remember what the hotkey is for that, but
Control S.
Control S. And so it was like
It's easy to hit in a game.
it's very easy to hit, especially when nerves are on, and then you could turn the sound. So we had a lot of games where they would accidentally turn it off, and we come over, turn it back on, and they go, okay. But that is a valid reason to pause, right? There's something that's happened that even if it's a mistake, okay, that's out of your control, right?
Yeah.
Monitor goes out or something, right? Maybe there's a light fixture. Again, this doesn't really happen anymore because this show has been on for so long. All the pros, most of the pros that are here are the ones that were playing from earlier. But maybe a light is too bright on your eyes. You realize, okay, I need that turned down because I can't quite see the screen. We do not allow pauses for something like wrist pain.
Yeah, something that is not like outside of your control to some degree. Like, for instance, if you don't have a hotkey done, that's a warning.
That's right. Yeah,
because you can pause to fix your
unbound
hotkey.
hotkeys. Yeah.
But that would result in a warning.
Yeah.
Pausing because your wrist hurt would result in a warning.
I believe
as well.
if you had to go to the restroom, that would result in a yellow card as well. Like if you had to pause in the middle, I don't think it's ever happened because you can just go to the restroom in between games. But
yeah.
And part of the reason is that and I completely believe that ByuN's wrist hurt, but just when you're running a tournament, you can't. Someone could say my wrist hurts, I have to pause, and they're really thinking, oh my God, he's doing this weird strat. What do I do?
Of course.
And I that's not happening here, of course. But
there's so many situations like that, like you say,
Yeah.
where people could abuse it, and that's why you have to give the warning.
It's one of the reasons why we have to have these rules, right? Now ByuN's in a weird situation because this happened last time we casted him. Is he had to pause and we had to give a yellow card. Now, the first penalty, it doesn't really mean anything because we're not here to try to just punish players. But I don't know, because I don't think we've actually had the second pause ever in GSL history. Have we? I don't think we ever actually have two pauses in a series.
I don't think so.
So I don't even know what the rulebook says.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The players probably know. Well, especially when you get it, they probably let you. It's like, what happens if I have to pause again? Oh, you get a game loss. It's like, well, we're not pausing.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No, exactly. So, again, we're just kind of putting all this out here because we're basically past the halfway point of this series. And I think, how long have we been 5-4? I mean, this is like basically a series that's gone on for about an hour. It could go on for another 15 minutes. It could go on for another hour and a half. I mean, TVZ especially sometimes can just go on forever. So
yeah, you can have some long ones.
So I mean, if he was in that much pain that he had to pause, then what happens now?
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
And keep in mind, guys, playing through pain will exacerbate your problems. So this is like a real dilemma for ByuN here.
Yeah. It's not getting better right now. All right, so the Cloaked Banshee on the way. Does have that medevac coming out.
Yep.
Couple Hellions. Okay, picks off a drone. Not too bad. Ro.16 is just finished up, and a Spine on the way as well. Looks like he's in position waiting for this medevac. Has enough units at the third base as well. Those two Hellions can't do anything else.
Okay, he's pushed this away. Again, nothing dramatic coming out here for Zerg. And
yeah.
we mentioned there's a possibility of a rush. ByuN didn't do it this time.
No, he did not.
I thought you were probably going to be spot on for that, honestly. When you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's going to be the play, but not the case. Banshees with Cloak, so he's going to just try to kill a lot of drones and get ahead in a long game.
Well, you got to give some credit to ByuN here, right? There's the third command center coming down. It's not some sort of Hellbat build. It is not some sort of proxy barracks rush. He's sticking to whatever plans he had. He's playing his game. He's playing his style. He's manning his way through it,
It's going to be rough, though. He starts to lose after this.
Yeah.
One of the things about inflamed tendons, too, is, they become less inflamed over time. I mean, icing it, and stuff like that can help. But, ByuN just played Aces ROG. So it's like, and then the next day he's in GSL SuperTournament. So, this stuff builds up over time. It's like you accrue pain, Yeah.
Yeah, you should definitely consider taking a break after this. Well, all that being said, what is the state of this game? I mean, it doesn't look like heavily favored in one direction or the other.
No, I mean, honestly, this looks like a pretty generic Terran vs. Zerg. It's like a typical TVZ with good players. Like, nobody's got a lead. There's been some pokes and prods here, but, I mean, both sides are basically in the phase of development. We've got two Banshees coming through here, so I don't think a single Banshee's been killed yet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he's kept them alive.
I mean, maybe there'll be some opportunities for some great play there later on. The Banshees can kill drones early on, but frankly, they're equally valuable for holding off Roach Ravager pushes later on.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
You can't really kill them with Ravagers.
Yeah, he has been favoring the Banshees a bit more, and it's just kind of a good play against Stark, because what's he going to do, attack you with the Roach Ravager again? The Banshees just deal so much damage so quickly.
Yeah. And they're also very good at cleaning up the creep, and this may actually lead to a better position later on here. It's something we don't talk about a lot, but in a game like this where Dark pretty much dominates the map, even when players are trying to spend the whole time stopping him. But with ByuN's pushing looking very good. Then again, you know, ByuN might push out here and not be able to be as fast mechanically, and Dark just smashes him, you know? That's a real possibility.
Yeah. And it's not just, you know, ByuN being in pain as well. Don't forget, Dark is one of the best Zergs in the world. So I don't want to paint it in that direction. A little bit of a different look on this strategy from Dark. It does look similar to what we've seen before. Hydralisk Den coming up. He does have +1 missiles and Carapace on the way. But it's slightly quicker Hive. And we don't see the 3rd evolution chamber for melee. So I think he's going to go into Lurker very quickly here. I think he's going to go Lurker Viper off the back of his Roach Ravager. And that, I mean, this could have to do with what we were talking about, right? If you just have a bunch of Lurkers burrowed, it takes a long time to kill a Zerg that's playing like that.
Yeah, that's very true. I think this makes sense. I think it's good anyways, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It is good anyways, for sure.
Okay, this is a pretty nice move. He comes in there, actually kills just a little bit, but again, ByuN has to be careful. Terran have to beat Zerg with a push. Unless we get to the game where the maps actually split, and I think ByuN loses that anyways. Just based off his current medical condition.
Yeah, probably right about that. Hive is finishing up. We should see a few Vipers being made. There's that Lurker Den. Still on the way here. Dark scouting around a little bit.
He's
Looks
gonna come
very
in again.
solid for Dark overall.
These are very small numbers of units. But again, ByuN not overextending.
Yeah, he's just poking the edges just barely. And when he reads what is actually going on, it'll be interesting to see how he wants to approach it. I believe, yeah, he has 2 factory siege tank going on, so
yeah,
there is some potential of a full frontal push. But of course, ByuN is very good at multi-pronged stuff as well.
Yeah,
I think he'll probably bring most of his army towards the bottom right, where the creep is the thinnest.
That's
and
probably
then have
the
a
best area to
harassing
hit.
force on the left side of the map.
I think you're right.
That seems like it would probably be the ideal way for him to try to deal with this. It's going to be tough, though. You're going to have to move around a lot to try to outmaneuver the Lurkers. They're just such a strong defensive unit.
Yeah. Cleans up a little bit of the creep. It's going to be hard to push up onto the high ground. I think he will probably go around through the low ground.
Yeah.
Because I just can't imagine winning through that other direction. And here comes, now this is the harass army. This is to try to draw most of the forces back. So he's going to be very attentive there. The real fight's actually going to be over here. I'm sorry, where are the tanks? Oh, here they come, all right.
Yeah. Not that many over here right now, but he definitely has 2 or 4 at home still.
Is Zerg going to attack before the creep dissipates? It doesn't look like it. Oh, here we go. Ooh, good job there, fighting back the Vipers. A second dive in.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, good yoink.
A second push comes in here, so it's going to be a half-half as far as attacking goes. He's going to have to abandon this.
Yeah.
Just eats those tanks.
Nice abducts, but actually ByuN brings the other reinforcements to his other group of units.
Oh
A great call from ByuN, and he is going to take down this hatchery.
Great play here, and here come the Banshees we were talking about earlier on.
He is playing nice game here.
He is playing nice game indeed, Comrade Artosis. Now, can Dark actually clean this up though? I mean, he's dodging pretty well. It's 3 base to 3 base right now. Zerg's trying to remake this.
Can't get away with anything. Can't misspeak for a moment. Sit here and cast for 5 hours straight with you. Say, miss 1 pronoun or something. I'm just done.
Okay, it looks like Dark's going to clean this up, but he's taking some losses here and there.
Look how killer these Banshees have been, by the way.
I know.
They have added a lot of damage.
Terran expands again and is regrouping. Now, the game plan might be pretty straightforward from ByuN here. He may try to just hit that 4th base over and over, and eventually Zerg's just dead. It's not the fanciest way to win, but it's probably the best way to win in this game.
Coming in here once again. One of these Liberators. Does have that Lurker. Picks it off.
It's
Decent
working.
dials.
It's working, man. Here come the lurkers, though.
Well, that's a lot of siege tanks to run into with lurkers, I tell you.
Yeah, the siege tanks will get their shots off first. And I think they're going to win. Oh, nice. Nicely done. Pulling some of those tanks forward, but I still see a lot of Terran presence here.
Oh, man, that tank on the low ground is actually killing him at the moment. But ByuN's still microing very heavily. It looks like he is going to end up being able to push off the hatch.
Oh, he's got to be careful with these Marines here. He does pull away. The hatchery goes down again. You can't lose his hatchery that many more times. In fact, we're really starting to see ground gain here. You know, there's not quite enough Ravagers to pick off the Liberators, the tanks, especially as reinforcements come in here. Uh-oh.
And you know what?
There's a big counter coming up here.
ByuN does have a fourth base that got set up during this time.
Yeah, right at 12 o'clock.
And that is important because he's growing, and right now Dark is shrinking. So Dark comes over. Ooh, nice. Liberator does force him to turn around immediately. Gets a few extra shots as well. ByuN just running up, stimming, trying to engage. These Vipers are here, so this is still, it's hard to clear. Look at that, the SCV's just running to the side. Dark has potential for a lot of damage here.
Yeah, this was pretty crazy. Now, this is actually a really brilliant move here by Dark to just switch the game over to this part.
He needs to get these SCVs. Oh, yeah, look at that, running through the lurker spines. And he's going to kill off a huge amount of ByuN's workers.
Yeah, and it seemed like we were so close to possibly having ByuN win, but this very decisive play, realizing that there's really no defense back at home. ByuN's push is scary because he's throwing everything at him. And suddenly the lurkers are in a great position. Dark double expanding to try to really bounce back from this.
This was a really painful thing for ByuN. You can see he just made fish lips there. Probably trying to figure out how do I actually maneuver. Like, he needs to push his units back, but actually Dark does it for him. Gonna go ahead and withdraw, get into a more defensive position. Looks like he left just 3. This could be hold position lurkers. Unsure about that.
I really didn't expect this from Dark. I felt like Dark was going to just try to cling to that base. But this is such a good move here. You know, the lurkers are able to get over there so quickly. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Artosis, I can't believe my eyes. You know, it's funny. They weren't quite in the right spot for that to be as good as they could have been. They were actually... They were actually surrounding it. Yeah, but it's still.
Okay, watch this, though.
Oh, get ready.
Now! Now! This one's going to be much better than the last one.
He's like, I'll just try to build a...
Okay.
turret? That's weird. Okay.
Well.
Those aren't Brood War lurkers. Those aren't StarCraft 1 infantry. We'll tell you that, man.
That is for sure. He'd be about 4 supply right now.
Yeah. I've seen those games with you. I've seen some of those moments, man, where it's just like everything explodes.
Yeah.
It suddenly becomes a gore film.
All right, so the hold position lurkers, I mean, I think they did well enough, and Dark is maxed out, moving across the map right now. Tons of lurkers. Just going to run into this. The Liberator and the Planetary and a Siege Tank. You know what? Let's just yank it all towards us.
Again, another base is going to get wiped out here. It feels like ByuN is very close to losing this game.
Yeah.
If he's not dead already. Dark, just absolutely brilliant play. He was in a very dire situation earlier, but he saw the weakness, he saw the counterplay, and now there's just not enough tanks. These lurkers can leapfrog their way to Dark's victory.
Now, ByuN is trying his own counterattack here.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be enough, though.
No,
I think that Zerg just hatches the answer.
I think you're right about that. He has too much supply. He still has a bit of a bank, whereas ByuN is almost out.
GG. Wow. Game 5 incoming.
Very, very solid play there from Dark. Obviously, you know, there is this whole story of ByuN and his hurt wrist looming over the match, but
yeah,
don't forget, I mean, Dark is the world champion. You can't really take this away from him, right? That was some very solid play, a great counterattack.
Look at ByuN.
ByuN pulled a lot together there, man. He played his normal style. I thought he made an amazing decision how he brought the first 3 tanks in bio down the right side of the map, and he had his harassing force on the left, but then he reinforced the left because so much attention went to the right.
Right.
And he started to seesaw the game towards him. He killed that hatchery multiple times. It was a really nice game, but Dark, with that counterattack, he just outpositioned ByuN. He killed basically all of his SCVs, got the command center, got the position, got ByuN to sit back and play defensively.
I don't know what to expect now from ByuN here. I mean, obviously, if you're just now joining us, ByuN's already paused once because of wrist pain. This isn't the first time, even in recent castings of our castings of him, that he's had problems with his wrist. It's been a long series, and one can only imagine that as each minute passes, in which ByuN has to be clicking and producing and playing the game, the pain will only increase.
You would imagine.
Does he rush? It seems like it is the most obvious move. Mm-hmm. Then again, how much pain can one endure?
Well, with ByuN, we know it's a lot. We've seen it before.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. ByuN was dominating in the first 2 games. He's now lost the last 2. And by the way, he looks considerably different. The play, at least.
Yeah. I think he pulled parts of that game together, but the game before, you could see the degradation of his play.
Yeah. He might lose. This happens, man.
Yeah, of course. It's a big problem. I hope that it's something you can
sucks.
work on in the future. Well, the thing is, he's one of the most exciting players to come back, right? As so many players are leaving for military, we have some coming back like ByuN. ByuN is back on top of the world. He's
also one of the really emotional players. You know, you can see the joy when he wins. You can see the pain when he loses. But you can also see the pain when his wrists are inflamed. So this is a tough moment, man. I'm kind of rooting for him more now than even when we started, just because that's a tough way to go. Dark is playing very well, by the way. He is part of the story here too. It's not just
Well, it's just ByuN, back from the military. He's an ex-world champion, just like Dark is the current world champion.
Right.
The whole wrist thing, of course, as you said, he's got a great personality that people really connect with, a very fun style. But just the fact that he just won Aces Rock is just such a big deal, right? Has anyone ever beaten Serral and Maru in the same tournament? I don't think so. No. I don't think that's happened before. But it's impressive. We know that his top form is good enough to win this tournament. Can he bring that form together right now? Can he win Game 5?
I hope so, man. How will he win it, though? I feel like you have to rush, but, that's the most obvious thing. And it's not even like a mind game. It's like, well, I mean, how much... You're going to play worse the more pain you have.
Well...
Unless it's like Rocky or something. He just gets mad and wins then? I'm like, what? I don't understand anything.
Rocky's a great movie, don't you talk trash?
He's just mad. He's like, just comes back and dominates?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Is that how it works?
Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark. ByuN.
Let's see it. He's not going proxy. He's going to stick to the plan.
No!
He must have killed it in the army, man. Just sticking to the plan.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Artosis?
He said he must have done great in the army, man. He's sticking to the plan,
Yeah.
Fighting through the pain.
Well, it's going to be very sad if Dark crushes him, even though I think, Dark is a great player. He might have won anyways,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, no matter what happens here, it takes away from Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Either
it's
he
sort of
beats
an unfair
ByuN because his wrists hurt, or he loses to a guy who has hurt wrists. It's terrible. It's either way.
It's a sucky position to be in for sure.
And I mean, he's Dark though. He's a GSL champ, the world champ, amazing Zerg player since 2015, one of the best in the world.
This has been one of my favorite parts of the StarCraft 2 storyline, though, is people coming back and playing so well.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think just in general, seeing pros age and actually be better than before.
Yeah, it's
where there was
very
this
cool.
whole completely ridiculous belief system out here that, after the age of 20 or something like that, you can't compete.
Yeah, no,
in the early days when we moved out here.
My favorite story along those lines right now is DRG and how he has come back now, revamped his style. You still see his style in there, but it's like revamped. And he got top 4, and he's older than Nest-T was. Nest-T is the oldest champion we've ever had across both StarCrafts. So that's like, for me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Of course, ByuN, he's also kind of giving us these insane stories that you really want to root for. Oh, that micro.
Okay, those Lings have
3 very red
served
ones.
their purpose. Yeah.
One
the
die.
Queen pops out. Yeah, but this is a tough one here. Now again, if ByuN wins, I think he's going to have enough downtime that his wrist can recover. He can stretch it out, you know, and
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Needs that rest.
So we're still waiting to see exactly what the tech is going to be here for ByuN, and the same is true for Dark here. You know, we don't know yet, and I don't think you know either. It does the rule if it's the second pause, and I don't think Dark or sorry ByuN
since we've
would
never
pause.
seen a second pause, I would imagine it's
Yeah,
pause.
I would think so. It was something like they get 4 more pauses. I'm like, what?
Well. Yeah, because if you were allowing more than that, I mean, I'm sure someone would have already thought of the strategy of pausing to ruin your opponent. Yeah. You know?
Okay, so here comes that Roach Warren here.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn quick Roach Warren.
Well, Dark is known for a lot of times in all of the casts where we say maybe somebody's going to rush Dark. Sometimes Dark is the guy that ends up doing the rush.
Yeah. He does have that aggressive streak.
Yeah. Especially when everything's on the line. It's very funny.
You know, the best Zergs generally do have the aggressive streak in them.
Yeah.
The guy who can't be named, Rogue, Dark.
All very aggro.
Yeah, they all have a lot of aggressive plays.
Oftentimes, Sue.
Yeah. That's, I wouldn't consider him a champion, but... Yeah, you know. And nowadays, Cyril is more aggressive, too. He definitely mixes in more aggression, even though, you know, when he won his championship, it definitely felt much more macro-esque.
Another pick up here. He's going to try to glide into the main.
Another cloaked Banshee coming out of
I like this thing that Dark does a lot of times where he just sends the Queen a little bit off creep because he knows there's stuff waiting there.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I know where you're going to hide. You're going to be just off. So you can send him off there, and sometimes the Queen is buff enough that it can just
Yeah, it could kill it.
It
stretches the attention of ByuN as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's Dark who's initiating with that, right?
Yeah. I think we've seen it especially in the series here where it's like, okay, this is like a new little thing Zergs can do. Just pick a fight, weaken them up. Here's the double eBay. Everything signals that ByuN is in this for a long macro game. And I'll tell you what he's not going to do this game, get building armor.
What if he does, though?
He goes halfway and he cancels it and shakes his head. And I'm like, are we in Groundhog's Day?
Well, if we were, he should have taken like 50 days off in a row to heal the wrist and then and then played.
We find out he's really good at ice sculpting, but not StarCraft. We're like, what are you doing? You know the only way to end Groundhog's Day is to get into the round of 8 of Super Tournament, right?
That would be... God, I wish Groundhog
Not try to convince that boring Midwestern girl to love you. And what are you doing, man?
Oh, jeez.
Spire coming down now, Artosis.
Yeah, very different from what we've been seeing.
So Dark going to mix it up here.
All right, ByuN coming down. He does not have building armor on the way. A lot of roaches being made. A couple evos for Dark as well.
Stim is finishing up. Terran is... This is going to be the moments where Terran can actually try to initiate. But most of it will be trying to get rid of creep. Again, these two unit comps, the roaches are almost always, unless there's some weird exception where there's a stray roach or a stray queen. The Zerg army is stronger, but the Terran army is more nimble. And so the Terran army pops around to different locations. And really, it's this, if you look at it like on the mini-map, it's like the Terran trying to hit almost 180 degrees of different creep to try to keep that contained. And that's only because Terran later on has to win with a push, and Zerg units being so fast on the creep. You want to have that as slow, you want to have as little creep on the map as possible so that you can actually win a fight.
You know, I want to say I kind of like this idea from Dark. He's shown the roaches that he just continually is using. He hasn't gone Spire at all, right?
Yeah.
And each and every game, ByuN has gone into double factory siege tanks to help deal with the Roach Ravager that Dark is so known for and so good at. But the fact that he's going into Mutas here, this could really catch him off guard, right? Generally against like a Lingbane Muta type of play, you'll want like Marines with mines. Now, I don't know if he's going to commit heavily on the Mutas or not, right? He doesn't have that many yet. 7 Mutas flying around, that's not that big a deal.
7 Mutas coming through here. Doesn't look like there's that many weak spots here for ByuN defensively. Oh, I guess there's actually nothing over here.
Yeah, that's
at the
decent
natural
damage.
Pretty good. Back on the Zerg side of the map, the 4th base is up. Upgrades are continuing to be cranked out as the Roach count does grow. This is a more narrow map, and the push distance isn't actually that bad. But we'll see. It seems like on this map, especially the bottom right, Zerg can take that. Terran probably can't do anything about it.
Yeah. You know, we saw, another Evolution Chamber popped up as well, too.
Yep.
So he's actually going into all 3 upgrades
3-3.
while going Muta, Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. That's not even a composition. That's just the name of all the units before Infestation. So I'm not sure exactly what the strat is right now, but...
Well, here comes his push now.
Right, throws down some very good vials right there. Oh, no, he missed that other siege tank. He got one of them, though.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
Right now, the Hatchery's at half health. Is he gonna sack it, or will he try to fight for it?
I don't think you can save that.
Baneling speed's not done. Oh, hold on.
Oh, he's coming up with the Mutas.
Otherwise, Artosis.
Yeah, I guess so. He might actually end up doing it here with that Muta sacrifice.
Is this too much, though? He takes that out.
Now, back up to the creep.
I think he actually held it. But ByuN is not finished yet. We're going to need to see more Banelings. Actually, the second push could still kill this. I think there might just barely be enough here for Terran. Let's see.
Well, there's a lot more Lings coming out right now.
He
Ooh,
did
some good
eat
vials.
one bile shot. He is going to... Oh, my God. Right now, it's like Dark is barely holding on, but I think ByuN is overextended here. I think he does not have a foothold here to push from anymore.
Yeah, he has to back up for now.
Yeah, and you can see that's very clear because of the pickups.
Well, he's going to fly back. The 3 Mutas going to do a little bit of damage to these medevacs. Not that much of a punish.
Now, they can target this medevac.
Yeah, get one of them.
Can he actually do damage?
I think he can't stay here too long.
Well,
just reinforcements should be enough to knock this out.
I think it's only Lings, man. It's only Lings coming up here. He can actually get away pretty quickly with that that speed thingy there.
Speed thingy?
Yeah, that's a technical term for it. Now,
the healing cylinder. It looks like everything in it is being healed.
I actually think he could take this out, man.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, this is just way too much here.
Those reinforcements, very scary.
The Ravagers are sort of pinned over here on the side. Ouch! He takes a lot more shots there. No, I think this is over.
Yeah, it really is starting to look that way. ByuN microing his heart out, but his wrist maybe not able to help. A bunch of biles go down. A ton of damage here to ByuN.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I think ByuN's lost this game. Dark coming back.
You see the look on his face here as well as he knows that he's just taken too much damage.
Yeah.
ByuN lower than 100 supply. Dark very near max right now.
Yeah, Ling's just spilling from the south up into the north. SCV is used to defend, but even that won't be enough. GG, Dark takes it.
Yeah. Nice victory for Dark. A sad one for ByuN. What can we say that we haven't said, you know?
It's sad, but I also think Dark played incredibly. And ByuN, I don't know, man. I mean, it's rough. You're at times the best player, but only when your wrists can endure the pain.
Yeah, Dark going over and consoling ByuN a little bit. He knows what's going on. It's a rough thing for ByuN, but you know what? He's having a good comeback here still. Hopefully he can rest up a bit. There's no other big StarCraft like right now for him.
Yeah.
I just hope he takes a little bit of time off. I know that ByuN is a big time grinder and he will play and practice constantly, but got to take care of that wrist issue.
There's nothing else to say, man. We're going to go to the next phase of the round of 16. Zest versus SOS will be up next.